Right, sometimes instead of being asked to calculate values of y from x, in which case you would use the line of regression of y on x, sometimes you're asked to actually calculate x from y. So you're sort of working backwards, if you like. And in this case, the line of regression that you need to draw is the line of regression of x on y. So the equation here is slightly different. Remember, for y on x, okay, your value of b is worked out using sxy over sxx. But in the case of the regression line of x on y, which is more unusual and it's used for calculating x from y, b is actually calculated using sxy over, in this case, syy. Okay, the next difference here is, okay, a here is calculated using a is equal to the mean of y minus b times the mean of x. Here it's the other way round. A is calculated using the mean of x minus b times the mean of y. Now, both lines need to go through the point represented by the mean of x and the mean of y. That doesn't actually swap round. So basically, both of your lines have to go through that point there. And actually, if you were to calculate both lines, there isn't actually that much difference between the two lines. You've got to understand which one you used when. Most of the time, you will be told to draw either the line of regression of y on x or x on y. The equations, as I've shown you, are very another thing that you need to realize, and this goes back to just some notation that we learned when we were looking at the product moment correlation coefficient. Basically, if you are looking at y on x, in other words, you're predicting y from x, then remember this is called, the x value is called your independent variable, and your y value is called your dependent variable. But if it's the other way around and you are looking and you're predicting x from y, so you're using the regression line of x on y, those are the other way around. Okay, your independent variable is this one and your dependent variable is this one. One last thing is the fact that if you have a particular experiment where you are controlling, now let's just have a look at the example where we had a spring, and hanging on that spring you are putting on weights. In other words, and then x is your weights that you're actually putting on, and those are fixed by you. Now remember, this we called the controlled variable. If you have a controlled variable which is fixed by you, it will be the x variable. So let's say you are putting on masses of 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, 400 grams. That is fixed by you. The y variable is your dependent variable. And in this case, because you are fixing x, then you can only possibly use the line of regression of y on x, the usual one, in other words.